Hi, everybody, and welcome to what I have sort of dubbed Amiga Linux. Officially, the name will be different, of course, because trademark. I'm thinking about maybe Mika or Mika OS because it kind of sounds like Amiga in a way. So this is a little test I did using AX runtime, which basically allows you to combine Amiga APIs with Linux APIs flawlessly. The integration is very well done. So this is an audio slider. As you can hear, it's getting a bit lower in the volume. And now it's getting higher in volume again. So the audio, as you can tell, the GUI, the interface is all Amiga. It's all MUI, Zune based rather. It's using AROS. It's using parts of AROS. But the audio itself is coming from a little library called Mini Audio, which is a Linux library actually. It's a header-only library for Linux, and I believe it's also for Windows and maybe Mac. Yeah, it's actually all of those, but it's not. I remember it's all of those because it's also for BSD, because there's like in the footer it has little logos of the operating system. But what it obviously doesn't have is an Amiga logo, so this is not an Amiga library, but I'm running this in an Amiga application. Also down here you can see I'm using sysutsname.h. I'm using uname, and I'm filling up the buffer and the little struct, putting the struct values from the UTS name inside of there, and it reports back my Linux system. And yeah, so if we click the buttons here, welcome to Amiga Linux for the GNU Linux people. For Amiga people, I will say welcome back. Welcome, friend of everything Nix. Welcome, design aficionado. I figure macOS people would like that. And finally, welcome, tired of Bill Gates finally. So yeah, this is all native. This is not like a trick. This is not a Linux library made to look like an Amiga UI library. This is literally Amiga running inside Linux. This is a combination of the two. And my plan is eventually to... the exit button works as well, but we're not exiting yet. I'm not done yet with the recording. So this is the Jurassic Boing edition, my little demo. And I put embrace, extend, extinguish on top because, well, that used to be a Microsoft motto, a Bill Gates motto. But it's kind of tongue-in-cheek because I do like combining Linux and then straight out ripping everything that actually defines Linux out of Linux. I like modifying the kernel ever so slightly, finding new ways to do IPC, having a completely different display stack or a completely custom GUI library. I love all of that stuff. I could probably have a replay button in here. Could play the song again. Because that is a button that I can click in Amiga. The slider, it's the MUI slider, but yeah, this is all running inside AX runtime. The link is axrt.org. And yeah, the plan is to basically have a distribution that is completely graphically Amiga, that has all the Amiga APIs, but it is still Linux under the hood, so you will still be able to run Linux software. You will still be able to combine your work with Linux libraries. Of course, that means they won't work under, if you port your software and add Linux library calls, then obviously they won't work under AROS or Amiga OS 4 or Amiga OS 3 anymore, but or MorphOS. But the point is that you can create my plan is to create an entire desktop environment. Maybe I will reuse Scalos, since Scalos is now open source. Maybe I'll reuse that one because I haven't had that much experience with MUI yet. And I'm also building other stuff, like I'm still working on OceanFrill, which is unfortunately maybe getting delayed. I'm still working out the details before I make an update on Kickstarter. But yeah, this is just a little side project. I'm still working on my Anima OS operating system, which I'm still working on my Gizmo, kind of like React and Go thingamajig. I'm working on a lot of things. I'm doing software development pretty much 24/7. I'm very passionate about software development, and especially OS development. And so yeah, the plan is to really have a system that has a GUI that has all the Amiga APIs. Maybe we'll even add on top of AROS. Maybe I will fork it myself and add some additional functionality as I see fit. No promise, but maybe I will. Yeah, my demo code will probably be available first for Patreon, for subscribers to my Patreon, which I'm setting up soon. But I'm also gonna open source it eventually, so no worries. But if you want early access to the code that built this and some instructions on how to use AX runtime yourself, then yeah, feel free to subscribe to my Patreon. But yeah, I plan to build an entire distribution. I know it's kind of crazy. Some people might not like it because it's not Amiga in the hardware sense. I know it's gonna be x86. It's coming as dirt hardware, Intel, AMD, whatever, what have you. Via, like if you have a Via chip or some Russian chip or Chinese chip, x86, it will run on there probably. If there's drivers for it, it will work. And if it can run Linux, it will run this. If all the x86 instructions work on there, it will work. But yeah, that will be a whole system. I'm also looking at Janus UAE, which is sort of a transparent emulator for classical 68K software on real Amigas. So I want a transparent emulator, so you will also be able to just double click on a 68K file, and it will just play back. Like you will be able. I mean, of course, you will also could just use ScumVM and run Monkey Island inside of there, but you could also have an old school Amiga copy and run that in Amiga Linux or whatever we're gonna call it, Amiga. So yeah, welcome back.